Atimpoku roundabout, and behind me is the statue of Nana Asemani of Akwemu. He was once the governor of the Osu Castle. There are lots of interesting history about him. We'll go and find out. It is believed Asemani was first employed as a cook in the English fort in Accra. After learning the white man's ways, he became a trader. He also acted as a middleman for the Akwemu traders who came to the Osu Castle to do business with the Danes, people from Denmark. Later, he was chosen to carry out Akwemu's revenge on the Danish. With me here is Oyi Akeshire Nana Ansah IV, the chief of Edumasa, and he is going to tell us everything about Asemani, the statue we just saw. So Nana, when we talk of Asemani, who was Asemani?
Asemani played a great part in Ghana's history, if you would ask me. Now, the Akwemus were warriors and they were also traders, and they trade in salt, gold and slaves. And so Asemani was like an agent between the Danes and the Akwemu people, so he's a go-between. And so he knew all the movement of the Danes. And one day he turns up at the castle with 80 warriors, all disguised as traders, and they were going to buy arms. So they tell them to bring the guns. They brought the guns and they said, we need to have bullets. And then they put bullets in the guns, and then they turned the guns on the Danes and literally formed a coup d'etat, if you can ask me. So they got the Danes out, got them captives and took them to Akwemu as slaves. And then Asemani, made himself the governor of the Gold Coast, and he actually locked the Christiansborg Castle and brought the original keys of the Christiansborg Castle to Akwemu. So to this day, Kwafu Akoto III, who is the Akwemu Hene, has got the original keys to the Christiansborg Castle, and that's very significant in our history. And that's why if you come into Akwemu and you get to Atimpoku, you see his statue there to remember, some of the great warriors who the Akwemus had. So that's who he was, So he was the first, probably, governor of the Gold Coast.
The Akwemu ethnic group took over the fort in 1693 after overpowering the Danes. Asemani, who was now the Akwemu leader, occupied the fort for a year and traded with merchants from many nations. In 1694, Asemani sold the fort back to the Danish for 50 marks of gold, which was equivalent to £250,000 in 2008. Asemani, however, kept the keys, which are still in the possession of the Akwemu people. This statue was put up by the current chief of Akwemu Fie in honor of Asemani.